Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have an open box video for you from NGC, and had some fun coins we sent off, and decided let's see what happens here. 1928 from the Denver Mint, Lincoln cent, and coins that are not as easy to find. Nice uncirculated examples as you would think. When you get into late 20s, and they're a little bit easier to find than the early teens and whatnot, but still to locate these coins with nice original luster on them and a sharp strike like this coin has isn't super easy. And MS63 brown, nice looking attractive coin. Overall, I think Gray Sheet bids on this about 60 bucks. Once again, Gray Sheet's just a reference. Some things trade higher, some things trade lower. It kind of varies on what it is. But the cent collectors, you guys know how hard it is to get the coins from the 20s, especially if you're looking for color. And by color, I mean red, because that is typically what people look for. There are people who specialize in toned coins, of course, as always, but really the kind of the pinnacle of penny collecting is red. And the red cent is what everyone's looking for. This 1927, once again, a coin that is, I think, much more difficult to locate than the price in the Gray Sheet would indicate, especially with something with a nice amount of color to it. NGC went ahead and called this coin an MS64 red, which is nice. It's once again, they only listed it at $45. I find it hard to believe that they trade for that inexpensive, but I will we'll do some more market research and see what we can find out. Speaking of finding out, this 1853 3-cent piece is a lovely coin, and had to get it certified. It was a really neat piece that I liked. I liked all the luster to it. You can see from a distance just how nice it is. Pretty coin, and pretty rough. Unk details cleaned. So this one I got to think about a little bit, because I'm gonna have to let it simmer. I'll end up taking different lights and different angles and check again, but it has full luster, no hairlines. Unless they think something happened to it chemically, but then maybe they would say something besides cleaned. I'm finding a hard time on this one. That I may have to send that into that other grading company and see what they say. Next up, I've got 3 little Indians. My mind is kind of all over the place here, but I think I may have done a video that had these guys in them somewhere raw. Here's a neat little group in original little brown manila envelopes. But nice coin, 1899. Not a rare date. They made millions of these guys. This one's got a little bit of some, almost like a residue on the front. You can see at certain angles. In other angles, not so much. And NGC called it a 63 red brown, probably because of that little bit of residue that's on there. Gray Sheet bids $80 on a coin like that. My 3 little Indians, though, I've got 2 more of the same date, both nice coins. These ones don't have that same level of residue, just a couple little spots on them. You can see, once again, with lots of coins, not just copper, not just silver, you work the camera, you work the angles, you work the light to start to see things pop up, because at certain angles you don't really notice the spots, and then at other angles they really have a nice contrast. So always remembering, especially if you're collecting for yourself, for something for like a long term, just to be judicious. 64 red brown on that one. Gray Sheet's 140 on the 64 red browns. And this one, of course, this one has a lot nicer color than the previous one. It is a lot more red. Of course, it still has plenty of brown. 64 red brown. They gave it the same grade. And you can see what happens lots of times with cents, with copper in general, is that the buyer in person is going to really vary their purchasing price, and the seller also, if they're aware of things, their selling price based on the amount of color on those. So generally speaking, the more red you have on the coin, the more pricey it's going to be. So they may have the same grade, but one is definitely going to be priced different than the other. This is one of my all-time favorite coins. I used to, as a kid, cherry pick this coin. I want to say with some frequency. And I know 1939 nickels might not be everyone's favorite, but the double Monticello has always been one of my favorite coins because the doubling is so vivid on these coins. You could see usually with the naked eye that double O really well, and that's kind of the key point. And the doubling gets a little bit lighter as you go farther to the left. But even then, if you look at the word 5 cents in the Monticello, you can just see doubling everywhere. This coin, by the way, I want to point out the steps while we're here, just because the steps on this coin are really, really strong. They did not call it a full steps, but it's pretty close. They did call it an MS65. By the way, that's a pretty big jump. These coins are tough to get unk, and higher grade unks are really expensive. I think gray sheet on this was over $1,200. That's a tough coin to locate, and a really, really nice example. Really, really nice example. Speaking of nice examples, this coin just kind of hums when you look at it. It's almost like a lightsaber. I don't know if I should apologize to the engineer now or not. Zach, engineer, sorry guys. 1939 from the San Francisco Mint, and just a wonderful, wonderful coin. There's not as many really, really beautiful raw coins out there as there used to be, and people say there just aren't any, but I always tell them, well, of course there are, because I see them. They come through here once in a blue moon, and that's why I know that they're not that frequent. And so when people say they're not out there, sometimes they're just speaking hyperbolically, and they're just saying there's really not many of them. And it's true. I mean, this is something from an old collection that was raw, but an MS66, it's just a lovely coin. Bid on that is $480, and really, really blast white. A nice original piece, and it almost sings to you. Don't worry, I'm not singing. This actually was in the same collection. Another coin that was just blast white, high-end, gorgeous, stunning. We've talked about this, right? The wheel mark. Oh my heavens to Murgatroyd. I am, I've talked to you about this before because I miss wheel marks all the time. And let me just say, when you just put it out there, it's easy to just even observe this coin after I say there's a wheel mark on it, and then it's like, okay, where's the wheel mark? And then you've got to really play with the angles and the light to start to see it. It's almost always up in the hair. Oh, got it. There's really fine white lines going, they're going kind of north and south. So right in this, here they're going horizontal. That's the wheel mark, but it's so faint. It really isn't as strong as most of the ones that I've had on coins. I've missed some pretty strong wheel marks because they'll blend in with the hair and they'll blend in with the luster. They're not wrong. There's a wheel mark there. So, and a 40D is a tough coin. I mean, an unc's $100 plus, a gem's $200. It's really a tough coin. Man. So with those coins also is this 39S. So I've got this as there were two 39S's together. This Walker, the Walker we looked at, and then this quarter. Really gem coins. Along with that 40D, which wasn't as gem as I wanted. So be careful. But this was also another coin that was really gorgeous, raw, original coin from an old school holder, old school collection. Like I said, we get them once in a while. It's my favorite thing to do is to see actual nice coins in raw condition. An MS65, nice blast white coin. a couple $100 in the gray sheet, really beautiful, and just a lovely example. And of course, as always, when you look at it and you think it's a 6, it's only a 5. That is the rules for quarters. They're always at least a grade lower than you think. Speaking of a grade lower than I think, okay, so this is an 81S, which of course they're really strict on 81Ss anyways, and kind of tough. I liked this coin on multiple levels. The toning isn't for everybody. I get it. This is not a super bright tone, but it does have overall a good eye appeal in person. In other words, it's not really super dark. Like sometimes they'll be dark toned and at all angles they're dark, but this at this angle you can see it still has bright luster coming off of it, even at the not well lit angles. And then you've got just lots of blue to green on this one. And in this one, I really thought it would come back a 5, and it came back a 4. It's really a nice example. They're tough on them. There's just not a lot going on the surface of this coin, and I really thought it should be a 5. That's why I sent it in. But either way, there's nothing wrong with a 4. The coin's probably going to sell, based on the tone anyways, because currently toning is still pretty popular. I like this mixture of toning on this coin. It reminds me of some different commemorative halves that I've had in the past. So lots of fun. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the owl button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.